How's it going, everybody? Trevor with the Armed Forces Initiative. It's the 4th week of March, the last week, and we are continuing with the last part of our kind of Irish history or just Irish-themed book reviews. Today's book review is Guerrilla Days in Ireland by Tom Barry. Great book. If you don't know who Tom Barry is, you don't understand the title Guerrilla Days in Ireland, you probably didn't read the first book, which was The Story We Carry in Our Bones, A History of Ireland. And he's even mentioned in the other 2 books that we've recommended. So maybe go back a few weeks, pick those up, and then come back. But if you don't want to do any of that, I'll give you an introduction, because that's what the whole point of these things are. Tom Barry, guerrilla warfare leader in Ireland in the 1920s. So this is when Ireland is separate, well, 1916 through 1923, give or take. So this is when Ireland is separating from Great Britain, and you have the Irish War of Independence from Great Britain. Then shortly after that, you have the Irish Civil War. Because what happened was the treaty signed with Great Britain meant that the Northern Ireland would stay with the British Empire, while Southern Ireland would become a, I'm going to mess this up because I didn't read it before I did it, but like a protectorate of the English Empire. It's a step towards independence, which did not truly happen until the 1960s, but it is a wonderful step. So this is, Tom Barry was the guerrilla leader in the South. The reason our readers should be interested, even if you're not Irish, if you care for the history of Ireland, is because any successful insurgency, any successful guerrilla war is interesting to read about from that leader's perspective. So it's written by Tom Barry. It's about Tom Barry. He's one of the most successful rebel leaders in the history of the world. If you look at any rebellion, he does an amazing job with such little material, such little training, and he just makes things happen. It's got pictures in the middle, which I always think are fascinating. Some great quotes where used to have things like everybody wants to be an Irish Catholic. Everybody thinks themselves of Irish Catholic, but he just talks about how the Catholic Church just turned on Ireland during this time, and they were trying to turn in guerrilla fighters fighting for independence. And just, man, if you didn't already have some questions about the Catholic Church, this book will give them to you. Tom Barry, picture of him, age 22. I don't know if you can see that, but he's not like a big, imposing figure. He's a typical Irishman, and his whole thing is just running around Southern Ireland causing mayhem for the British Army with very little weapons. Yeah, you'll be able to burn through this. Again, like with the last book, you're going to draw some conclusions, or some parallels rather, between this Irish War of Independence against Great Britain and some of the things happening in Afghanistan, Iraq, and the Middle East. It's good to draw those parallels. Makes you think. It's interesting. Again, wildly different scenarios. Like I said last week, not the same. I'm not saying you should feel bad or that things you did in the Middle East were wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying it is interesting to look at a guerrilla war or an insurgency from the other side. And at least in my military career, we didn't see much of that. That was not on the required reading. We didn't look at that. So it's interesting now to take a look at what the other side of the coin is, especially when the other side of the coin is somebody with a culture so similar to your own and with a history so similar to your own. Anyway, Guerrilla Days in Ireland by Tom Barry. Last book of our kind of Irish series this March. Hope you enjoyed your St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if it's Lent yet. If it is, go have some fish. If it's not Lent yet, then eat whatever you want. But that's it. Go pick it up. It's like $16. See ya.